Men's Mind State and Cultural Reviews, bringing you another one. This one by virtue of Media Man. And we have another instance of these women, black women in particular, traveling abroad and seeing black men out there, seeing the passport bros, and they're feeling some kind of way about it. They get big mad. And so I have a few instances of that here. You might have seen this video already, but I have a couple of videos for you as well that you probably haven't seen before. That I got at least one of them from the source on the content creators page that I haven't seen anywhere else. Let's check it out. We'll get right into this. Let's start.
I just touched down in Colombia. I'm in Cartagena
Cartagena.
on a solo trip. Part of it will be solo, but today's solo. I just had the weirdest experience. So I came from DC and I had a layover in Atlanta. The flight from DC to Atlanta was whatever, it was fine. But when I got to my gate in Atlanta, I noticed, I didn't really think much of it at the time, but I noticed that there were a good amount of black men.
Like, subscribe, and notification bell coming through the door as we fast forward past some of Media Man's commentary, and then we're going to continue with this right away. Let's get back to the program.
Black men, I didn't pay too much attention, but I was like, it's not a black man at this gate. Columbia is going to be lit. Then, a little later, when it's finally time to board, I get on the plane and I look up after a while and I realize I'm sitting right next to a black man. Two black men are sitting directly in front of me, two across from me. And then I just kind of scan the airplane and there are a bunch of black men on the airplane. So I was like, what? Let me find out all the black men be in Colombia. Love that for them. They on these boys trips, whatever. Didn't think too much of it. It was, I recognized that it was a little unusual, but I didn't think it was weird. I was just like, oh, that's funny.
Her tone about how it's fun for them is about to change. Let's continue.
When I got to Colombia, when we landed and I made it inside of the airport, I promise you, I have never ever seen so many black men inside of an airport at one time.
Just happy.
Literally, it was black man group here, black man group here, black man group here. They were not together. It was separate groups of black American men. And so, and it was something about the energy.
So what's the problem, sis? What's the big problem? Let's continue. Let's see.
That felt weird or like a little off to me.
Do you worry?
But I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't know what it was. And I think one of them said something to me. The customs line was really long, and it was one of those lines where you have to keep going zigzag a million times, and then you keep seeing the same person, the same like group, because you're next to them, and then you turn, and then you're next to them again, next to them again. So I kept doing that, seeing all these black men. They're not really saying anything to me. I'm not saying anything. Usually, at least it's been my experience so far, that like if I'm somewhere and there are a lot of black men, even if they aren't trying to shoot their shot, somebody's gonna say something like,
I just want to tell black women.
So they didn't really have anything to say to you, and this is going to be why she's really salty, in my opinion. Nice, attractive black woman, right? She's even got the natural hair going. I'm definitely liking her look. She's mostly plain face. These words are kind of in the way, but you can see she's kind of fit and nice, well endowed here. She's used to getting all the attention, especially from the Simpy Joes. And now she's not getting that type of play from black men. So now it's a problem. Now they told us not to talk to them, not to bother them, leave them alone. They called us thirsty for the last decade plus. If you're attracted to a woman, black women say that's thirsty, and that's a problem because heterosexual men aren't supposed to be attracted to women or something, some nonsense. But anything to have something negative to say to black men is how it's been. And so now, when it's not on their terms, now it's a problem, and that's what this is all about. It's about men gaining leverage, and you taking the power to not deal with women who are interested in you, who think that they have leverage over you to maneuver you or manipulate you in any kind of way, but instead you take the power and you set the rules of the game. So this is what's up with these brothers in Colombia. Good job.
But I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't know what it was, and I think one of them said something to me. The customs line was really long, and it was one of those lines where you have to.
And check how she notes. She also didn't speak to these men. They try to make it out as if the men are the bad guys. Note how she also doesn't speak to them, but they're the problem. But they told us not to speak to them. Can't win.
Give me a compliment, or especially if we're abroad, they're gonna be like, "What's up? Like, where are you from?" Because it's clear that I'm Black American, they're Black American, and like it's just like a part of the culture. Like you speak to Black people, and you feel excitement when you see them, especially when you're in a different country.
What? So why you didn't speak?
Exactly.
If you
Exactly. You see what you said? She's used to getting a compliment or something. She's so mad that these brothers wouldn't compliment her and that they just weren't stunting her. It wasn't even that they didn't compliment her, they weren't stunting her. And that reminds me of this video. Let's see if we can get it up on screen. Let's see what it looks like on here. Okay, let me reframe. You may remember this woman from Tokyo a couple of years ago. And this one made the round. And let's see what she has to say about the same sort of situation in Japan. This woman is very attractive to me. The one we were just looking at is quite attractive as well, but this one is like the next level of the same brown chocolate skin. She's got these beautiful big eyes. The lip. She's on point. I even kind of like her personality, even though I don't care for what she's saying, but I'm kind of feeling her, just her disposition. But nonetheless, we're not trying to hear the nonsense. So we're gonna talk about it. Let's see what she says.
Since I've been living here is the amount of coonery that I've seen in Tokyo. And sorry to say, but it's mainly from Black men from America. The way that I have to watch y'all treat me and my fellow Black sisters like shit, but treat the Japanese women all delicately like they're special flowers is insane. The amount of times that I've met Black men from America who give people the N-word here is crazy. I recently went to a club and this Black guy was asking me how my experience is here dating, and I was telling him, and then he was like, well, I'm in heaven here because, you know, they like fetishize us, so they be worshiping us and doing whatever the fuck we want, so I'm in heaven. What? None? Or the Black men that'll be talking to me, and then when we get done, they're like, I enjoyed the conversation, you're so cool.
Why her face so frowned up here? Look how she's just so tight in the forehead at this point. She's so tight. Oh, literally.
They're like, I enjoyed the conversation. You're so cool. I love Black women. I worship Black women. I wish there was more in Tokyo. And then we'll go over to their Japanese girlfriend and then talk shit about us. When Black American men get over here, the coonery be on 10. Y'all need to pipe down because they do not give a fuck about y'all.
Again, love her look and her personality. But what is she talking about? See, the problem is, black women don't give a about most black men either. You told us we were all narcissists, we're all creeps, uh, we're broke. You said all the passport bros are discarded men that nobody wants, which begs to the question: why y'all so big mad about what they're over there doing since you don't want them anyway? That's what's really crazy about it. And you see, they're literally big mad. I stopped it to show you how tense she was, how tense her face was. She literally mad. She literally mad about black men wanting to date Japanese. They went to Japan. You thought men went to Japan? Japan, one of the most homogeneous countries on the planet, to find black women. Who takes sand to the beach? Who packs up sand to put on a plane to fly for 35 hours to a beach on the other side of the world? If they're going there with interest in women, they're not going there to see women who live right down the street from them back home, who call them thirsty, creepy, and claim that saying good morning and hello is harassment. Remember that Walking New York video? About a third of those comments that they called 100 cat calls were guys just saying good morning and how you doing. This is the state of how men are treated here in America. So this is the same lady. Same lady, a few months later in Japan. This video that we're about to watch now comes after the one we just watched on her page.
So I've been living in Tokyo for about 6 months now, and I want to give you guys the down low about dating as a black woman. So somebody recently told me something that baffled me. They said that a lot of times Japanese men don't approach black women because they think that we want sex. Like, they have this thing amongst them saying that, the darker her skin, the more she wants sex. So let's say that you're out with your girls and all the light skinned ones and all the white ones are like, ooh, I want to fuck somebody tonight. Now, if you're there saying that you don't want to, Japanese men are going to automatically think that you want to have sex. They're not going to come approach you. They're not going to want to ask you out. They're not going to want to give you their number.
Why are you worried about what Japanese men think? You're supposed to be there to date black men. The hypocrisy be on 10. Nah. Whatever you said, nah. How about the coonery be on 10? Does this sound like hypocritical coonery? How are you going to complain about black men in Japan dating Japanese women, and you're a black woman in Japan trying to date Japanese men, and then big mad about the Japanese men's preference? The Japanese men can't even have a preference in their own country. It's insane. Absolutely insane in the membrane. Let's get back to the Columbia story and see what happens here. Let's check it out. All right. I got to reframe a little bit more. Hold on. Give me a sec here. Let's go.
You just trying to be friendly, then just speak. Say what's up.
I didn't get any of that energy. Now, to be fair, I didn't say anything to them either, but they didn't say anything to me, and I didn't say anything because the energy was weird. So anyway, that was it. That's the story. But I got finally to
So she's telling the story.
customs into my hotel, and I called my friend, and I told him, I just casually mentioned, like, this is weird to say, but there were a lot of black men at the airport. Like, more black men than I've ever seen at an airport at once, and more than I've ever been on a flight with at one time. And then he looked and, like, made a face. And I was like, what?
So see, her friend that is going to be on part of her trip is a dude. So she got a dude coming out there, and she worried about what black men doing.
Probably because it's one of those simpy Joes and he's coming out to pay for stuff. She got her sucker from back home to get him to go on her girl's trip, or her supposed to be solo trip, but she got somebody to come down to come pay for part of the trip, right? He probably bought her ticket to go down there and come back in the first place, or he's going to come down and pay for the room for some of the nights. He's going to spend for everything, for the travel and the meals and the going out and everything while she's there with him for sure. So she found somebody to travel uh, hundreds of miles to go get sand that jumped off the beach down the street from him to take it to the beaches in Colombia. So that makes a lot of sense. That's all that's about. She's going to this place. She thought she was going to get lit with all these black men she saw in the airport. She's like, oh, we're going to have here to get it all, get down, get all these men, get all this attention. And then they was like, whatever, we ain't studying you. We not here for you. And she's mad. And she's mad.
And he was like, you never heard of PassPort, bros? And I was like, I mean, I think maybe once, but not really. And he was like, yeah, those are PassPort bros. And
hold on, I'm sorry.
Like, oh, for real? And then he basically was like, yeah, like they think y'all too loud and ghetto. He was being funny and like making fun of me, but basically he was like, y'all too loud and ghetto, so dang, I didn't mean to put that on my clothes. So they are traveling, they travel the world to go and find non-black women who they think would be better. And I was just like, oh, really? Like, people, I guess I had heard of it, but I thought I didn't know it was a real thing. Like, and I guess I still don't know. I haven't done the research, but like, is there a group of black men who claim this title? Like, who purport to be PassPort bros?
Nope.
Reason? Like, I guess
Part 2.
I feel awkward because I've never been on a solo trip before. I don't travel solo. Like, I would travel solo to meet other people, but like, I don't spend whole days by myself in other countries. And so I was, I got on my cute little dress. My hair came out cute. I was excited. But when I got to the airport, and I realized that things were off, I just felt
What was it off? And what
I
you
want
mean?
to know.
So, all right, fair use.
awkward, and it kind of felt like I caught them, and they like I caught.
What you caught them? What? Did y'all hear that?
That that things were off, I just felt awkward, and it kind of felt like I caught them. With black men, this is, as you can tell from me making this video, completely new to me. Like, this is whole concept just new. But I feel like I wish I would have went to somewhere else. I could have went to Jamaica. Honestly, I mean,
Jamaica, yeah.
who know me know that for the most part, I love to be around my people. Like, I want to be with my people. But I can have a good time anywhere. Like, I was just in Barcelona.
Yeah. Oh, I love.
I wish I could have found a clean version of this. I couldn't. I didn't realize he chopped this. I haven't watched this in over a week. He chopped this up more than we called this. Like every 10 seconds, he's stopping it. I'm trying to cut it out and string it all together, but it's not working so well. We just have to get it how it comes. But let me try to see if I can get this last piece and we'll keep it going.
Not many black people there at all. Great time. Italy, same. Not many black people. Great time. But this is the first time in my life where I've traveled somewhere and I saw so many black people, and it didn't feel like, oh, we lit. Like, oh, for real? Like, oh, this is where the black people are? Mm-hmm. It didn't feel exciting. It felt weird. Like,
for you, them dudes would worried about your ass. Go enjoy you in Cartagena. Go enjoy. What the hell?
I'm looking at you. You looking at me.
And she got a dude coming out there. What you worried about these black men for?
Who is that? Who is that? R. Kelly. And I'm looking at them, and they're looking at me, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like, you should have put the D and D.
The difference is they ain't stunting you, but you very much worried about them. And see, the thing that these women can't understand, you're talking about you want it to be lit and you weren't feeling it because it felt weird and it wasn't lit for you. But now you can see how black men feel with how we're treated by black women in America on the regular. So you get to feel the kind of disdain or disinterest or um, disregard with which black women as a whole treat black men with as a whole. And so guys are now going to where they're celebrated, not just where they're barely tolerated or just treated as some utility, some object to come along and pay for your stuff. And other than that, we don't need you here. We want you to sit up and beg for our attention and for our affection. And maybe we'll give you a little something if you do that. But other than that, you're not even needed. No, you don't need no man and all this kind of thing. So now you get to see what it's like for black men here. So maybe now you can understand why they're going there. All right. But yeah, I can't get this guy to stop stopping it, so I might as well cut in too.
Who is that? R. Kelly. And I'm looking at them, and they're looking at me, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like, you should have put the D and D on the fucking map and told us not to come here. So I guess this is a PSA for black women. I mean, maybe, and you know what? I could be so off base because I literally am about to leave for the first time after like getting ready and getting to my hotel and getting settled. And so I might get out here and have a blast and feel.
Why wouldn't you? Wait. God, dog.
Welcome and be happy to be surrounded by so many black men, which would be on par. But right now, I'm forcing myself to go to dinner.
What? Oh my God. What you mean? Go have fun.
But y'all, if I didn't pay money to be here, I was just hide in the hotel. Like, I low-key just want to, like, order room service and hide in my hotel. So this is me getting outside of my shell. And so, anyway, the first day one is feeling a little awkward. So,
what, Mom?
Wish me luck.
Mums. Go, young lady, go have fun.
Oh, goodness. Can't get this. All right. So this lady is so pressed. she is so pressed by what these other men are doing. And it just has her so affected. They're not doing anything to her. But that's what bothers her so much. It's uncanny how upset and how worried she is. I guess I thought they decentered men, but her whole disposition, her whole trip, her whole ability to enjoy herself is totally just derailed by the fact that Black American men aren't interested in her. And you can see she's really attractive. You can see in some of these last uh, videos where she stepped back, and we can see her kind of back away from where the wording isn't in the way so much. Let's see. You can see she's very nicely endowed. This is a good looking woman, and she's used to getting a lot of attention. But now that she can't get that attention, and it's not on her terms, it's not to where she gets to dictate whether a man's going to be spoken to or not. The men are going to walk across the room, and she can look at them and look away and not even respond to him if she doesn't want to. It can send men packing, and she be the center of attention, and it be all about her, and the interaction be completely on her terms. Now that men are dictating terms, she can't handle it. She's got to be in men's shoes for 5 seconds, and she can't handle it. These brothers ain't doing nothing to her, yet somehow her whole vacation is ruined for no reason. And they're just really upset. And some of those same sentiments are echoed by this woman. She was real upset when she went to Colombia. Let's hear it.
You men that be coming out here to Colombia, I seen you. I seen you. The secret is out. I know. I know what y'all be doing out here. And you need to be ashamed of yourself. You need to be embarrassed. Big ones, little ones, fat ones, in short sets, straight from the flea market. And we back over here in the United States can't find a good black man because he over here in South America living la vida loca. Strong and dependent, I don't need living. I seen it with my own eyes. I was just sitting there in unbelief. Sitting there in unbelief. Be coming out here to Colombia.
Same as the last woman talking about she caught us. She caught them. The secret is out. Man, there was no secret. The secret was never in. It's not a secret. We ain't hiding what we doing from y'all. We ain't going out of our way to discuss it with y'all because we don't care about your opinion. We don't want your opinion. You have no say so. But nobody hiding this. This is out in the open, and there's no secret, and you didn't discover anything. We came on the internet, told you this is what we're doing. Men are not checking for y'all and y'all foolishness. You do what you want, but we're gonna do what we want and go where we're celebrated. You can't get no good men back home, as you say. Back home, you told men to leave you alone. You don't need no crusty, dusty Negro. You can do bad all by yourself. You're more educated. You're making more money. But well, the second one's a lie. The first one, kind of true. But whatever the case may be, you decided that black men weren't good enough for you, right? So now they went to somewhere where somebody thought something of them. What problem of it is yours? You don't want us anyway. Black men are thirsty. You chose the bear. Why don't you go meet up with the bear? That's your preference. You should get with the bear. You should go to brunch with the bear, and you should love being with the bear. Leave black men alone. You didn't want us anyway, but now you're mad that somebody else does. And that's what it all boils down to. It's crushing their ego. They thought they were going to go swirling, and somehow, for some reason, they thought white men wanted them. Now they're finding out that that's not the case. Even when they get a white man, most of the time, I've showed you videos of that where they do everything that they claim dusty black men do to them. You can see that with Tamar and her man. You can see that with Gary Owen. Everything his wife said about him is everything wrong that black women say that black men do. On and on down the line. We could keep going. So it's not working out for them in that realm. Now they want to reach back. Now they can't get no food stamp money anymore. They can't take care of their houses. They can't do any of the work on the house themselves, so they got to pay out a bunch of money for work to be done. They thought you just buy a house and that was it. They didn't know you had to keep doing maintenance on it, and that cost a lot of money. And so now they're giving all their houses back. The first they were bragging about how they buy so many houses versus black men. Now they want to give them all back and go back to renting where they don't have to have the labor and the responsibility, but they want to whine about how they have to do all the emotional labor in a relationship and blah, 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 blah. And black men don't want to hear it. And that's why they're going to keep going to Colombia. And y'all can just be big mad. Y'all did this. Y'all made it like this. This is the way it is. Yo, Bachi 2007. Like, subscribe, notification bell. We out. Peace.